Welcome to the Put On Waivers Media Group, home of the Put On Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
Welcome, everybody, to another glorious episode of the Put On Raiders podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, along with Ryan Holmes, and we are podcasting off the 2 and 3 shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle, and Ryan is ROLM22. The Raiders, 17 is the magic number. For De La Soul, my favorite rap group, 3 is the magic number, but 17 is the magic number. Then they won, I think their first win of the year was 17-16. This was another 17 point. They had a 17-point total. They win the game 17-13, and there's a lot to discuss in this wrap up show real quick. One of which is that you can't take your timeouts to the next half. So I'm not sure why my boy Josh keeps doing that, but I'm going to be positive as because the Raiders win. Let's talk about the defense. I mean, I know you made a point on a lot of your videos on the X app about playing nickel when the team is clearly in a run, has run personnel on there. Dylan was effective, didn't go nuts, but he was effective. But the defense overall, I thought, made some plays in this game. 3 interceptions, a critical one down by the goal line in the end zone with Amik Robinson. But the Raiders, keep their opponent home at home 13 points.
Yeah, they scored 17 for Devontae Adams. You didn't know that? They had to score 17 against the Packers.
Okay.
The Raiders did play a ton of nickel and a ton of big nickel in this game, especially when they were going up against 12 personnel, even 13 personnel at times. I did notice there were times through the game where they did go to a 5-man front with the 3 big guys inside, with Crosby outside and then another, whether it's Kuntz or Wilson on the other side. So there were times they went to 5 across the front. Dylan's a hard guy to bring down. I mean, they had bodies around him. They just couldn't get him on the ground with the first guy, and he was able to drag guys for a couple extra yards. But
it's huge.
Fortunately, Matt LaFleur decided that he wanted to battle just turning around and handing it off with Josh McDaniels. Unfortunately, the Raiders made enough plays in the passing game at the end against Jordan Love to win that game. But Josh McDaniels does not get a pass for the way he coached this game. He made a ton of blunders within this game with time management at the end of halves. Why is he kicking he needs a yard to win the game. He kicks a field goal and it misses. Now, Daniel Carlson's money. But even if he makes that, you're up 7, and there's a chance you're going to overtime. If you get a yard, the game is over. So I wasn't second guessing him on that. I was texting it before they went to break on the commercial, run the football.
Yep.
Josh Jacobs looked like he was getting going there a little. They still can't create a ton of lanes in the running game, but Jacobs again in the second half tried to carry this team and fight for every yard he could, and he needed to, because this was not a very good game again from the Raiders offense.
No, it wasn't a good game by the offense again. Back to the defense, they held them for the Packers went 4 of 12 for third down. They gave up, the Packers actually outgained the Raiders 285 to 279, but under 300 yards total for this game. I'm surprised
77 came on the one play.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. And listen, they were allowed to make one mistake today. That was the one mistake they made in this game. What was that one play? And then the horse collar, came through in a clutch right there. I thought they were going to make a. My friend texted me and said they were going to make it an automatic touchdown because of that penalty. But no, it doesn't happen that way. But Max Crosby is just, I can't even imagine the motor. Like he wearing
my Crosby jersey.
He texted me that Troy was acting like he never saw him before, and maybe he's never saw him before. Maybe he hasn't. So I just thought about it for a second. Maybe he hasn't. But yeah, he was fantastic, and I can't wait to watch that on film because he was just great the whole game. He's just that constant motor, like always being in the backfield. He's just tackle for loss waiting to happen. We can just wax poetic about his ability to get behind the line of scrimmage and just wreak havoc for this Raider defense.
A tiny secret: the reason I watch all 22 every week is mostly to watch everything Max Crosby does. So
Yes.
when watching the Raiders defense for the last several years, he's been the one constant. But they tried everything. They were doubling him. They were chipping him. They had the tight end over there. They were running 2 tight ends across the formation to get to him, and nothing mattered. And he came up with a big sack around midfield to basically that led, I believe, wasn't that right before the next play was the interception? By Spillane on the tip from Peters. And then in the running game, he was all over the place. Yeah, there's times where he jumps inside and they can get outside, but like you just can't try to tell him, hey, keep the edge and do everything, because he can disrupt the game just flying around the field on his own. And you just got to let that wild stallion go and just let him be. And if the Raiders could ever get anything on the other side of him, this defense would have a chance to be a pretty good defense. And Max Crosby is going to go down in the last. I know that they've had Khalil Mack. I know that they had Charles Woodson, but in the last 20 years, Max Crosby's right there with those two guys. And you could argue he's better than Mack at this point through his career. And that you're looking at him and Charles Woodson as basically the two guys in the last 20, 25 years that have carried this defense. And Max Crosby is on his way to a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, I can't say. I don't know how. I don't know how. I just don't know how.
And he's doing it by himself. There is no one helping him on this
there's
defensive
nobody.
line.
I know the Kuntz truthers are out there, stuff like that, but he's really literally doing it by himself. Who said one man can't make a difference? He's just been phenomenal. I do want to be let's just talk about our issues with the faux pas and the issues of what Josh McDaniels did, because I can't let it go, because he has 30 years of experience. He should know better, and I don't understand the situation. So my first issue with him is you get a turnover, like
at the 7-yard line.
At the 7-yard line, you haven't gotten turnovers like that forever. So you get that's as good as gold. 7-3 was the score, I believe, at that point. 7-3. You have an opportunity to make this game, to really put a young quarterback and dysfunctional offense behind the 8 ball, and you don't take advantage of that opportunity. That whole play sequence just bothers the hell out of me, because I didn't see the Raiders go to any of the big time players on this team. I didn't see. You got to have something in that big call sheet that is this big that you're holding. You have to have what they call that when you get a turnover, change of what change they have a word for it, but
change of possession.
Change of possession. Like, when you have a quick change like that, you have to have plays ready to go to score, or at least attempt to pass the ball into the end zone. They didn't pass the ball in the end zone on that, and that drove me. That really drove me crazy. You can't play for a field goal when you're struggling to score and you're down there and you have the multitude of offensive weapons they have.
Yeah, I can remember the play sequence right now. It was run up the middle for Jacobs. 2nd down, they threw it in the flat to Jacobs. So we don't know what the routes progressions were down the field till we see all 22, and then the screen to Carter that got picked. So,
Carter.
I have to believe that Devontae is really banged up. The fact that they didn't really go to him, they didn't give him any balls down the field, they didn't throw any fade routes to him, and basically they went to him on that one drive where they went down to take the lead late 3rd, early 4th quarter. Other than that, he was a non-factor in the game. They didn't really move him around. You didn't see them try to move him inside. He didn't really go into motion. And the one thing that is concerning with McDaniels is we thought Gruden was conservative. I would argue that McDaniels is more conservative than even Gruden was.
And he's young. And, God, Jesus.
Yeah, 4th and 1, not going for it. 3rd and 3 at midfield, the drive before, and kind of Jimmy gets sacked. And that might be on Jimmy. I mean, they're an empty. There is no one in the backfield to help. There's no tight end to chip. You just got your 5 linemen. That ball has to come out. But we'll have to see what the play calls were. But he called this game for the most part like he had a rookie undrafted free agent quarterback back there. Yes. It was screens, it was runs. And the one thing that I noticed, I don't know if Jimmy is comfortable audibling at the line, but for a 9-year veteran, he gets up there, and I was texting you and my brother, like, they have 8, 9 guys within 3 yards of line of scrimmage, and they're just turning around and handing it off, and Jacobs is running into a wall. Like, They came out the first drive of the game. It was play action, boom, Michael Mayer. Play action, boom, Michael Mayer. Like getting those guys involved, and then as soon as they got through the first two drives, he disappeared. They didn't throw him the ball anymore. He got out of the game plan. This is kind of what happens with Josh McDaniels. You don't see what they do on the opening drive or two continue throughout the game. Hunter Renfrow was not on the field for the first two drives for the second week in a row, where they clearly were trying to get Trey Tucker involved, and then Trey Tucker got dinged up covering a punt or on a punt return. And he was on the sideline with his helmet on. We didn't really see him on the field after that. Some of the play calls are baffling. Like you're running a 3rd and 1 reverse to the slowest guy in your team, with Jacoby Myers. I don't really like the jet sweep on 4th and 1. If Josh Jacobs didn't come blow that guy up, that play probably doesn't get a first down.
Yep.
4th and inches, you're lining up in shotgun and then trying to run Jimmy under center to get it right before they challenged the Adula play that got overturned and gave him the first down. And you're not seeing motion in this offense that you see all these other teams around the league do. I mean, they don't need to do it at the level that the 49ers and the Dolphins do, but they hardly don't do it at all. Yeah. Not really confusing teams what to do. And that's why there's no big plays going on. Like the Raiders are very easy to defend right now. And they just have to man up and hope Devontae makes enough plays that Jimmy doesn't turn the ball over too many times, and that Josh Jacobs can be special 2 or 3 plays in the game.
Yep.
And the defense has to show up, because that's the way they have to stay in games right now until they can get the ball down the field. Jimmy, I don't think he threw one ball down the field today.
I think
he did early in the season. I didn't see any.
No, I don't remember that at all. I think if you are LaFleur, you must be sitting there kicking yourself, because you're like, damn, if I just took care of the football in this game, I mean, like as shitty as it may be, I probably would have won this game 13-10. I mean, because they just couldn't take care of the football, and then one INT, the one turnover in their own end is kind of what did them in, because I can't say I would have pegged the Raiders to come down the field and do another big drive. So we had that play. So how about the issue with McDaniels on the red zone? How about you can chronicle the end of the half, first half, the middle 8. That was fun.
If there's a way not to score points with basically holding the ball and getting 3 and outs, he showed you how to do it. And I get it. I mean, if you want to say he didn't call a timeout with 1:40 left because he didn't want to go 3 and out and give the ball to the Packers, but if you're a head coach in the National Football League and you have a 9-year veteran behind him now, however long Jimmy G's been in the league, and you have Devontae Adams,
$40 million,
and you have Jacoby Myers, and you have $102 million, like, miss me with that. Like, if you're a team that has winning aspirations, you call timeout. I would much rather have the 40 seconds than the extra timeout, because you can run 2 plays and get completions in 40 seconds, whereas a timeout's only going to stop the clock once, and you still had another one in your pocket. So it didn't work out. The field goal got tipped, but the minute they didn't call the timeout, you basically were playing for a field goal. And then the first play they got with 55 seconds left, they run a jet sweep to DeAndre Carter. Like, you're running the ball. Like, you're telling me right now you have no interest in trying to score a touchdown. So he's coaching the game conservatively. His offensive line's not holding up. His quarterback, as the weeks go by and the hits pile up, I mean, today the happy feet were all over the place. There were times where he had perfect protection, and he's just like moving around and trying to figure out where to dump the ball off to. I don't know if he's seeing the field. He can't continue to play that way. Obviously, he didn't play bad enough to lose this game. He did enough, made enough completions, a couple drives to win this game. But if Jimmy G doesn't start to play better in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and I've long said I wouldn't play O'Connell, I probably would at that point.
Yeah, you might as well.
If Jimmy G goes another 3 to 4 games playing the way he's played for the first 5 weeks of the season, that they have to think about making a change. And I know if they reel off a couple of wins here, it's going to be tough to do that, but you can't hope the defense holds teams to under 20 every week.
Not with this defensive roster and the way the NFL is, it's not going to happen. Just because it happened tonight doesn't mean this model is not sustainable. So, like,
it might be next week, though.
It might. I probably wouldn't take a single chance next week. I'd just be like, play defense. Hey, Patrick, I'm gonna get your head coaching job. Keep doing this. Keep doing this. 13 points a game thing. But next week is gonna be, probably zappy next week as far as that goes. But I'll be there. I'll be there.
they could get to 500 next week. And
Okay.
I will say it right now. I've watched the Patriots the last couple weeks. I am picking the Raiders to win that game. I'll say it right now on Monday night. There is no way I'm picking the Patriots to win that game.
I mean, they really are. They really are bad. They really are bad.
They can't block. They can't pass protect. They can't complete a pass. They have no weapons outside. And they can't run the football. So as long as the Raiders don't turn the ball over 2 or 3 times, I don't see a way the Patriots can win this game.
No.
And they won't even have Matthew Judon and Christian Gonzalez on IR.
Isn't Judon hurt too?
Yeah, Judon and Gonzalez are on IR. But anyway, let's talk about the
After
Packers.
this one, so
Win.
Packer Raiders, we do have time for that stuff as well. Looking at the Raiders down the stretch here, we got 20 carries. We got the 20 carries, 70 yards for Josh Jacobs. Really couldn't get that thing going. But Jacobs does continue to be a pass catcher as well. 5 catches for 20 yards. So you know he's getting his touches, but getting his touches in different ways. As far as that goes. My biggest thing too is like when I saw Michael Mayer make an appearance, good for him. Thank you. I mean, I know both those
He's
guys.
tough to tackle. Like they need to get the ball in his hands.
Yes, and that's where I want to see him. You know, just I don't know why we can't just be creative. Like just put him in the backfield. Do other things. Do some things to get him into the flow.
Put him in as a fullback and then run him out in the flat. Do something.
Exactly. And no, we can't do that because Jacoby. Because whatever the fullback has to get his burn. I love watching him float out to the outside as a wide out on formation.
I will say that
tickles my heart when I see that happens.
Something we did talk about early or late in the preseason before the season started is you saw the Raiders finally make the change to Thayer Munford. He came in the 3rd series of the game and played the rest of the game, and the running game kind of opened up a little bit. Like the Raiders, if they want to run the football, they can't have you can't have Parham, James, Van Roten, and Illuminor. They're just not going to get any push, and we've seen that. Mumford's going to give up a little bit in pass protection, but he should help open up a couple of holes. And you saw Jacobs get that big run off the right side behind Mumford. So maybe that's something I would expect Mumford to hold on to that job now, unless he just starts giving up sacks left and right. And I would expect Illuminor to fall back into the role of the swing tackle.
I mean, they keep playing both and switching. Like to me, that could be a major win for you, and you don't have very many wins on the roster where you are just play Mumford, but play the young guy. Like you know what I mean? Like just play him. Like, I mean,
did Zamir White get off the bench today? Because I don't even think he played it down.
I'm still waiting for Britton Brown to play. I'm waiting for that one.
He's on IR. Hey, we saw Byron Young today.
Yes. I was like, who's 93? Tommy Kelly? No. But yeah, not good. But you know, as far as you know, this offense and getting it going, I don't know. I don't know why play action is not part of it. I don't know why. Like you keep saying, I don't know why we can't. Why you see something in the first drive, you don't see it again. Like where is the thing where the Patriots used to be like they're killing you with something and they just do it all day to you until you actually stop it. Like that's the thing where I just don't know where that mentality must be Bill. It can't be Josh because I don't see it.
Yeah, we're not really seeing them go empty shotgun and getting the ball out of their hands quickly. You're not really seeing them put the running backs out wide to dictate coverages. I think Johnson lined up wide early in the game on one possession, but you're not seeing them put Jacobs out there. You're not seeing them like put Jacobs out there and then throw a quick screen to him. And if I was Josh Jacobs, I'd be like, hey, Josh, I want to have a long career in this league. Stop running me into 9-man boxes, or at least. I mean, it's brutal. I can't wait to watch the All-22. And this has been going on the entire season. The minute Jimmy turns his back, the linebackers and safeties fire. Like there's no hesitation. And when they give the ball to Jacobs, there's guys already there.
Yeah.
So I mean, if the Raiders want to get the running game going, the first thing they're going to have to do is throw the ball, play action, and throw it behind those guys. And whether that's to Mayer or Myers or Adams, or Tucker or Renfro, I don't even care who it is. They're going to have to throw it to somebody. To get those linebackers to stop doing that.
Yeah. Anything from that shot of Mark Davis? I mean, that's nothing. I
That
mean,
that I'm pretty sure that's the same girl they showed either last year or the year before. So
no, because everybody's trying to read his lips. After that, after it because it came
I
right
thought he
after the
said
red
we need
zone
to
play.
score or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Because you got. I mean, this was a weird day. Maybe having the family and his brother got Daniel a little distracted. He does not usually miss 2 kicks in one game. Like,
One
he
was tipped. That's not
almost
really his
tipped.
fault.
Yeah, that's fault. Or that yeah.
The other one he missed.
But was it Parham blocking on that one? Parham, the interior
Yeah,
line.
Parham was just standing there, and the guy just jumped up and tipped it. I
Bit.
don't know if it came out low. Maybe the kick came out low, and he got a hand on it. But
You
either way,
got
like
you got
they
to do
didn't
me a
really get the guy's hands down.
you got to do me a favor though. On that Van Roten play, you gotta show that one on.
What was that?
I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he
It's
was
like he passed
doing.
him off, and he just like turns and he sets to block someone that's not even there. That's like that. I messed up so bad. I'm just gonna act like that wasn't my guy.
I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. That was bad. That was really bad. I had no words for that one. Well, what else we got for this 17-13 victory here?
Just win, baby. I mean, as much as it went wrong, they found a way to win
Yep.
at home, which is something that we've told this team
They
that
never
needs
went
to
at home.
happen. They have to win at home, so they won a home game. And it's a game they had to win as they move forward because now you have the Patriots coming to town. The 4 of the next 5 games are very. You have the Patriots coming to town. That should be a win. You're at the Bears now. If they can figure out how to slow down Justin Fields, that's a very winnable game. Then they go Monday night at Detroit. That's a tough game for them. But then you turn around and get the Giants at home, who haven't done anything. They might have the worst offensive line in the league, and then you follow that up with Zach Wilson and the Jets. So the Raiders have a chance right now. They needed to get this first win, and I don't want to start counting wins, but there's a realistic chance they can win 3 or 4 of the next 5 games.
So right now we got just cruising around. So they're basically in the.
And I have over 6.5. So let's hope for the 4.
Yeah,
Let's hope they
exactly,
get.
exactly. Papa needs some new rims. Here you go.
I need to pay for my season tickets next year.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. So yeah, so you have division leaders like the Chiefs who are 4-1, and you have the Dolphins who are 4-1. But everybody else in football pretty much is 3-2 or 2-3. So you have if they have any designs of maybe possibly making a run, maybe Jimmy G plays.
Don't say the P word. Don't say it.
Making a
Not
run.
yet.
I'm just saying making a run. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say after one victory. You got to win at least 3 in a row. But
That's called a winning streak.
That's not a winning streak. Yeah, Major League. I love that movie. At least they'll be in the mix, and right now they're in the mix, and the Patriots are not looking. I mean, the Patriots are. They're looking bad. They look like one of the worst teams in football right now. Especially worst team.
They've been
in
outscored
NFC.
69-0 the last 2 weeks after they kicked a field goal in the first quarter against the Cowboys. They've given up 69 straight points. They could barely get a first down last week. I watched the whole game.
That's not good football. That's not good football at
No.
all. They've been really bad. And the Jets and I don't want to get too far ahead, but like I said, when you won the game you had to win. Now you get ready for the Patriots, who have been probably the worst team in football. How many points have they scored this year so far? Wow. Let's go 55. Let's go 55 points all year. Their points for is 55 points, and I'm not sure if they have a defensive score or not, but that's pretty bad. The Raiders aren't much better. They're supposed to 79, but I mean, I'm just saying that's not 55.
I mean, you're at home. Josh McDaniels needs this game. You can't lose the game coming up. Like
this would be a bad loss.
This defense has played well a couple of times this year. Like I can't wait to pick this game because I don't pick blowouts a lot, but and it's hard to pick the Raiders to blow anyone out when they can't score 20 points. But
yeah,
you can't lose this game.
A friend of mine, who knows I love the Raiders so much said he's gonna grab the Raiders defense. His defense that he usually picks is on bye week for fantasy. He's picking the Raiders defense this week. I was like, hey,
based on what I've seen the last 2 weeks, that's a good idea.
Yeah, good idea. Take him this week. I think they're actually filling for you pretty well as far
Max
as
Crosby
goes.
might get 5 sacks next week.
They're bad, man. They're really bad. I mean, I don't know what to. So, what do you like? Just on the outside, just one thing real quick on Belichick. He's close to that record. Do you think if they have a bad season that he finished the season? Because right behind him is Andy
He'll
Reid.
finish the season.
The finish season.
Yeah.
Because like if he does go break the record, Andy Reid basically will just break the record again. If he coaches for like if he just stays with Mahomes for like 4 more years. So
Yeah, I don't think Belichick's worried about the record. I honestly,
yeah, guys.
watching that game last week, they were down 24-0, and Belichick had a 4th and 3 at the Saints 40-yard line. He punted in the third quarter. He was like, "Yeah, I'm good." Punted on 4th and 3. Then he went for it later in the game, down like 31-0 on his own
Why would you
35.
not?
There was a point where Derek Carr threw an interception. Kyle Duggar made a nice play. Had a hand was clearly under the ball. It was called incomplete on 3rd down on the field.
Yeah.
And Belichick didn't even
They
challenge it.
challenge
He was
it.
like
Oh
I'm
my
good.
god, he's checked
I'll just
out.
take the punt. Like, I don't need the field position. It's like he literally checked out. Like, he had no interest in coaching that game last week. I watched
Oh
the whole
no,
thing.
we can't. No, we can't. No, I
He had
can't.
Bailey Zappi warming up 3 series before he put in the game. I guess he just kept wanting to see 3 and outs until he finally pulled Mac Jones.
I
That's 2
can't.
weeks in a row Mac Jones has been pulled.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. Anyway, I can't. I can't accept that. I'm paying you too much for you to be checking out like that. That's nuts.
He was checked out.
That's crazy. So he didn't challenge. He didn't challenge an interception.
It was an interception, and he didn't challenge.
Oh
It was 3rd down, so I mean they got the ball anyways, but they had to punt it and they lost some field position as a result.
Hey,
But
sounds like a Patriot problem. Put on Raiders podcast, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes here. So wrapping it up real quick, the Raiders win. Everybody says I have no Raiders gear. I'm rocking the Bo Jackson today. I got some Raiders gear. I'm gonna be going to the game this weekend. I mean next weekend. So should be fun time seeing some buddies from the East Coast and New England. That should be fun times.
yeah, I rock the gear every once in a while, but like most of the time you can just see my face, so I don't wear it. So like I'm wearing Crosby, but like you can't see it anyway.
You
So like
can't
I
see
just
it anyway.
usually
You
wear a
can't see it.
t-shirt.
Yeah, but my camera's a little bit lower, so a little bit higher. I mean, so I can see people see down. So, all right, Raider Nation. That's pretty much it. We'll give you a wrap up. We'll give you a preview of the Patriots coming up later in the week. Get some all 22 stuff coming out. Good to go.
It's going to be mostly defense.
Mostly defense. Well, you can't find a jet sweep in there somewhere we can break down. Jet sweep, man. Or the flea flicker.
I mean, when Tucker ran one for a reverse for 16, which was nice, but like I was calling it out. I'm like, wait, Adams isn't on the field.
Yeah.
They have kind of Tucker tucked away. He wasn't split all the way out wide. He was kind of, right at the hash. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is a reverse. And then they ran a reverse to him. And
college football, can I ask you
pretty predictable.
College football, can I ask you one question? Have you seen them Mario Cristobal end of the game against the?
I'd have fired him on the spot.
Would you fire? Is that fire? That's fireable. Right?
That is a fireable. He lost the game because he didn't take a knee. That is a fireable.
That's fireable.
He can't do math.
The biggest thing in the world that you love the most in football, college, high school, whatever, is victory formation. Like the guys doing the game on the radio, they love saying victory formation. They love it. You can't not do a victory formation. You have an opportunity to do it. It's crazy.
We got a Victory Tuesday tomorrow, by the way.
I know, we do. I want to say one thing about the flea flicker. I noticed something on the flea flickers, okay? This is why I noticed. If you do, and I've seen this play in college football, if you do a fake flea flicker and the running back just goes, I'm telling you.
They did it. Jacobs did it a couple of years ago. I think it's because there was a guy that was going to knock it down.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, there is nobody in the middle of the field. Like, it's at least a 16-yard game, and so I would just think about it. I'll just think about it. Okay, Josh, I gave you a play, Josh. I gave you a play.
Josh Jacobs has got to throw that ball out of bounds, by the way, today too. When he couldn't throw the ball back to Jimmy G, just throw it out of bounds.
But he's just it's just. I mean, you know when you get to midfield because like literally he never tries it unless he's at midfield.
He only tries it between the 45 and 50. That's it.
Never. So is what it is. Ira Nation, 17 points. 17 points got you a victory today.
W.
Just
win, baby.
This game was rated PG. So just so you know.
For Patrick Graham?
Patrick Graham. Not Paul Gunther, Patrick Graham. All right. I won't
Take care.
Take care, man.